Everybody, this is our second time doing this because I hit the button and it didn't want to work. But we are here now, so welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs.
Second time's the charm.
Where the glitches are plenty over here.
Where the glitches flow like wine.
Yes.
Say my name. Say it. Say it.
Hello, Tom Housen. Thank you so much for stepping in while Sarah's away. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Even though I could have been getting a beard trim and a haircut, I'm hanging out with you, even though I desperately need it.
I appreciate it.
It's got a life of its own. It's got a life of its own.
And everybody, my voice sounds a little scratchy right now because I blew it out last night on a certain event that happened. But just so y'all know, I am feeling like 100% better. And all week I've been slowly adding things back into my diet, and this has been me talking to my food.
And then when the time is right, it'll be me and you. But only when the time's right.
That's funny. Are you kidding?
Yes.
That's funny.
No, I've been talking to my food all week like, oh my gosh, you're so good. I missed you.
I've got nothing that funny. That's awesome.
All right, we got some people in the house. We got Toby saying hello, everybody. Shannon, Carlos, and we call him Ray all day over here too.
Ray all day.
He's Adam Cole is king. Yeah, we know.
I'm letting you have that. Because it's Ray. That's all.
I didn't steal it from you. I didn't know you had one.
It's all right. I stole it from Adam first, so it's okay.
Okay. Ray says thank you for that. Okay, everybody. I was at the Dynamite show last night, so we're going to just kind of talk about that and go through it, and I'll talk about how it was being there, and then Tom can talk about how it was watching it on TV and what we thought about the show in general. Tom wants to start with the main event first.
It's the 500-pound gorilla in the room. We may as well acknowledge that the 500-pound gorilla is sitting there in the corner waiting for us to talk about it.
Yes.
I told you before off mic that Phil and I recorded an episode of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. There's a cup. Shameless plug time. And before we recorded, as we often do, we talked a little bit of wrestling. And we talked about the main event. And he had some stuff and I had some stuff. So now you and I are going to have some stuff. Okay. So show me your stuff. What do you think about this? How do you think about how it went? I know you're not happy with the outcome, but what do you think about it overall?
Okay. Overall, I thought that it worked. Like I'm not a deathmatch person. It was really hard for me to watch. I almost was about that close to having a panic attack during some of the parts, just because I'm such a big empath. So when I see people getting hurt like that, it really affects me. But other than that, I thought it worked, like, because they've been feuding for 7 months now. So what else was there to do but this? And there's some things I liked about it. I like that they stuck to the barbed wire everywhere. Like they had the bell wrapped in barbed wire. The microphone was wrapped in barbed wire and things like that. The shenanigans, the overbooking of it at the end was just ridiculous to me. I thought that some of that stuff didn't need to happen, or it just didn't make sense. Like, why was Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti not up in the Shark Tank? Because they're technically part of JAS. So they should have been up there caged up with the rest of them. So it was just not thought all the way through to me as far as some of that stuff goes. that's my unbiased opinion on it. So,
Well,
I'll get your opinion on what happens and then I'll talk about the bias part.
I was just getting ready to feed it back to you. Well done. It felt, and I don't know this for sure, kids, but it felt like Eddie called this match, and Chris is the veteran, so maybe Chris did. Usually the veteran calls the match. Backstage info. Usually the veteran calls the match. So maybe Chris did, but it really felt like Eddie was calling the shots just from where I was sitting. Felt like he was in control. Felt like it was his style, his speed. Felt like he knew where to go, where to be, how to be there, when to be there. Everything felt fine. There's a few weird moments where the timing was off, especially when Sammy got in the ring. I don't care. People lose a lot of sleep over dumb stuff. Who cares? Let it go. The match itself was fine. I didn't care for the microphone being wrapped in barbed wire. It's a little on the nose for me. I expect the referee to be wrapped in barbed wire. The camera got to be wrapped in it. The fans are wrapped in it. They can't move. Beer, anybody want a drink? And the drink's wrapped in barbed wire. Come on.
I'm glad they didn't wrap me in barbed wire.
How was it? Let me throw it back to you then, because you were there. How was it live during that match? Because Eddie, the pop for Eddie sounded huge. Was it as big as it sounded?
Yeah, it was huge, and I was screaming my head off. And before we start talking about how I really feel about it, I want to make sure everybody knows.
Welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs, the most biased podcast you can find. If you hear this recording, that means our host is talking about Eddie Kingston. She loves him, and she's not afraid to say so. Now, carry on.
Wow. That's reached a new level of intensity right there.
Right?
I'm here for it. It's all right.
I'm popping for my own stuff. I'm sorry. It's so funny.
No, it's fine.
The pop for Eddie was huge. Like I said, I was screaming my head off the whole time. And it was, like I said, hard to watch in some places. And okay, these two have been at it since January, okay? And to me, this felt like it. At the beginning of it, it seemed like this was going to be the end of their little fight, right? So I was going into this thinking this is the final match between Eddie and Jericho. So, of course, your big baby face, that is Eddie, is going to get the win overall. And when it was Jericho, it didn't make it. I thought that was the wrong move. And that's not just because I love Eddie. I just thought it was the wrong move, just because to me he should have gotten his big victory over Jericho. And I don't care if he technically looked strong at the end or whatever, but
I'm inclined to agree with you. It feels like I'm not sure why I don't want to say Chris had to win. I don't think Chris has to do anything. I think at this point, Chris could lose or win however many times he wanted to. Nothing's going to hurt him. He's supposedly the leader of a big heel faction. The faction got booed. He got cheered. I mean, people love Chris no matter what he does. And when he's a heel, they're happy to play along and boo him because they love him. And they're happy to boo him because that's his role. But, I don't think he needed to go over. I think it was, if this is the end, to your point, it was Eddie's match to win. But I'll throw this back at you. This is what I threw to Phil, because Phil was of the same mindset. And it's a good question. So take a beat and think about it. If you give Eddie Kingston this win, and this is, kids, this is an example of people overthinking stuff that's just supposed to be fun and silly. Here, get ready. If you give Eddie this win, does he lose some of his edge? Shouldn't Eddie always be the underdog? Shouldn't he always be the guy that was that close? If he gets to, I made it, I won, after a while, it no longer means anything. How long are you going to keep pointing back to, well, remember 10 years ago when Eddie was the underdog? Remember back before he was world champion 6 times? Remember those days? He was the underdog. I don't know if Eddie Kingston works like that. In my opinion, he works when he's always beat down. He's always behind. He's always coming up short. I think that makes him endearing. I think people love him for that, and they support him more. If you think he got a good pop last night, wait till next week. I think they're building the legend of Eddie Kingston, much in the same way they built the legend of Mick Foley at once upon a time in another company. You're building the legend of Eddie Kingston. So when he does get that win, whether it's over Chris or it's over. I don't know who else you could think of that's on that Chris's level. When he gets that win, fireworks. But I don't know. Do you wait and give him that when it's for a title? Do you wait and give him that when it's for something more than I'm going to make him bleed? All right, well, you made him bleed. Do you need to beat him? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm dead wrong about all this. But from where I sit, doesn't he lose a little bit of his edge if he starts winning big money matches? Not that he should lose them all, but should he keep some of that grit about him? What do you think?
Wouldn't he? I don't want him to lose his momentum, though. And for people to stop believing in him or not caring. Like,
I don't think that'll happen.
He's always going to be the undercard baby face no matter what. And that's where he's going to stay. I mean, he's getting the loudest reactions right now. And yes, CM Punk's not there and Danielson isn't there and yada, yada. But he was still, even with those guys there, he was still getting some of the loudest reactions on the card. And you don't want him to lose that because he got that himself. They didn't force it.
Very
so
true.
I just don't want him to lose his momentum, I think.
Valid points.
13 comments.
Wow. They're all talking about how good I look. Don't lie.
Yeah, there is some, Ray saying you look 14.
Of course.
Okay, let me pick through this, guys. Okay, there's no way.
Hey, look, I'm not. Yeah, as you do that, your points are valid and they're on the money, and I don't disagree with anything you just said. I don't think it's going to matter. I think next week it'll be just as big as it was this week. I think you book him against anybody next week. There's something about Eddie where Eddie's the Mets. Eddie's the New York Mets, and maybe he'd take offense to that. But remember, for the longest time,
He would.
Am I thinking of the Mets? Am I thinking of the Mets? Not the Yankees. It's the Mets I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah.
Mets couldn't win anything, right? That they just, and then there was that one year, and I forget when it was. They finally broke loose and they won the World Series, or they won the playoffs to get to the World Series, and people were like, "Oh my God, they're going to the World Series!" And then, bam, there you go. And it's just, I don't know, for them to get to that level and then be considered. Is it the Mets? I'm not a baseball guy. Can you tell? Maybe it's not the Mets I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of? It's not the Yankees.
I have no idea.
Yankees are always on top. You guys know. Ray, give me the team I'm talking about. It's the team that had maybe it is the Mets. They had that all-star team that year, and then the pitcher ended up going, or not the pitcher, was the first baseman ended up going to New York. You got to get to the Yankees. Oh, I can't remember the team now. Anyway, it's kind of like that. To me, that's what Eddie is. Eddie is that lovable loser, that team of guys that are just, they're blue collar guys. They're working hard, but they can't get the big one. But man, everybody in the city's pulling for him, and they want to see him win. You're right. Does this work 12 months from now? Maybe not. Does it work today? Absolutely. Will it work tomorrow? Yeah, you better believe it. Can it sustain for another year? Maybe not. But for me, I think he's fine. Should he have beat Jericho? Yeah, he should have. Are they done? Because it kind of feels like they're done regardless. Do you think this should go on any longer? I don't think it should go on any longer.
No. It shouldn't. I think it's long enough. And both guys should move on to something else.
Yeah.
And you bring that up, and there is some possibilities that you can play with in your mind. Like, eventually CM Punk's going to be back, right? And he'll probably go over Moxley, when he does, and he'll be the champion for a little while. And then you could have Eddie slowly move up a little bit and then challenge him. And then CM Punk could bring this up and be like, that barbed wire match was right up your alley, and you still couldn't beat you still couldn't beat Chris Jericho. So it could just be a notch in the story for that. I don't know if they're ever going to do that, but they should.
You know me long enough by now to know I'm devil's advocate. I'm always devil's advocate. It's the natural role I take in life. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So let me come back at you with this. Is it world title or bust? Does it have to be the world title scenario? Can he just be Really? So
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
opinion, it has to be there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes. Because if you look at the CM Punk and Eddie storyline, to me, that whole thing was about Eddie's mental problems that he has, and CM Punk was kind of that. And to me, this shows people like me who has the same problems, that if we keep fighting, we can get to wherever it is that we want to get to. We can achieve whatever our goals are. So yes, Eddie, to me, before he retires, he needs to win it at least once. He doesn't have to have a long reign. It can be a month, it can be 2 months, it could be 3 days. Just let him win it one time.
Um, if you really want to go with that aspect of his story of him dealing with his demons and stuff, I mean, I think, and they're both busy, or he's busy now, but I think Malachi Black versus Eddie Kingston is a rivalry waiting to happen. And I think
Yeah.
that's fun. And I think that's an example of, I'm going to play mind tricks. I'm going to turn out the lights. I'm going to do this and throw the shadows at him and have the evil look and spit the mist. And Eddie the whole time is going, you think you're messing with me? Do you know how black it is in here? You can't get to me. And so it'd be a total clash of styles, where for the first time, Malachi Black's kind of thrown off his game a little, like, this stuff isn't working with this guy. And then the commentaries can play up the fact, I wonder if this stuff is working on Eddie. So it'll be a nice parallel. I think that's a great feud waiting to happen. I'd love to see it.
Okay, let's get to some of these comments before
Do
they run away from me. Okay, my friend Jonathan is in the house. He says that I was on the television several times looking over wrestlers' shoulders.
Where were you? Because I got to go back and look for you. How close were you?
I was right behind everyone. You can see me and my dad. Like, if you see the straight hard camera shot, we're right behind there.
Awesome.
During FTR's promo, there's a green sign. You can see someone holding a green sign. That was me. Can barely
I'm watching
read
the
what
show
it
back.
says.
I'm going to look for you. I'm watching the show back.
Okay.
Cool.
Toby's laughing at that you said that your name is Tom Howson.
Toby, you know what happens if you laugh at my name, don't you?
Biggie Martinez is in the house, and he says 15 days until his birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, because you're not going to get a present. It's just happy birthday. That's it. You didn't get me nothing, E. Nothing.
Carlos says, when you see that not everyone was in the cage, you knew there was going to be interference. Yeah.
I liked how they had to crawl out because she couldn't get it unlocked, so they just crawled out of the bars of the cage. I'm like, was it that easy the whole time? That was awesome.
That was like right above my head too.
Oh, really?
Pull it up. Yeah, let's see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, you're like holding your breath, praying to goodness that thing doesn't pop loose from the chain, dude. You kidding me?
Right.
Have all those sweaty 200-pound wrestlers falling on top of you. Oh, that's a great pick right there.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
It was insane. I don't know if I want to see Jericho and Christian team up in AEW or not.
Boy, those were the days, man. Those were some fun times.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say. Oh, back in WWE when they were a tag team, are you kidding me? That was some fun stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I need to see it either.
Toby wanted a clean win for Eddie. Lance is saying hello.
Lance from the Dudes at Ringside Wrestling Podcast.
I don't know about this, Shane.
You know what I thought you were going to say just now? Do you have any idea what I thought you were going to say?
What?
You said, I don't know about this, Shane. I thought, oh, God, she's going to work blue. This is going to be great. I'm going to hear Tina curse. This is going to be awesome.
No.
We'll get you one day. We'll do something.
No. I can't.
I'll take it as a challenge.
Well, since Eddie Kingston lost, he needs to move on to Sammy. Maybe he will have a better outcome. Ugh.
If he moves on to Sammy, he's beating Sammy. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that.
Sure you do.
No, I don't. Okay. Ray is saying Eddie should have won. Chris didn't need the win.
I'm sure that's
Hello, Joe.
overwhelming.
Okay, they're saying Ray is saying it's the 1986 Mets. Toby's saying it's the Cubs.
No, not the Cubs.
No.
Oh, I might have to look the team up. God, you guys are making me feel so old. It wasn't that long ago, my goodness. And I'm not a baseball guy.
Oh,
Had to have been the
man.
Mets.
Dude, that's not nice.
Oh, E, you know what? You're such a bum,
Boo.
dude. You're a bum, E. Come on.
Boo. Boo.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Fight me! Don't fight me!
Yes. Let him have it.
Yeah.
I got to look it up because it's driving me crazy.
Okay. So speaking of Malachi Black, you want to
Yes.
start talking about Brody King versus Darby Allin?
Absolutely. I'll start. Darby's one of the most selfless wrestlers you're ever going to find. He'll give you everything. He doesn't care. Darby's not concerned about how he looks. Darby's not concerned about looking strong. Darby doesn't care about whether or not he gets a shine. He's not, and maybe I'm wrong. He cares about all these things, but it appears as though Darby just wants to wrestle. And this is a guy that's not overly concerned with, but no, I don't think Darby's overthinking anything. He gave Brody everything, and Brody looked like the monster. Newsflash, kids, he's supposed to. Okay. So the big 350-pound tattooed dude that's mostly muscle should destroy the small guy. Now it's Darby, and we want Darby to win. That's kind of the point. So even Taz made the comment during the match that someone's saying it's not believable. And I can't are you admitting that this is rigged? It kind of sounded like he was going there on commentary. Like, are you flat out saying this is rigged? Don't say it. Well, people say it's well, of course it's believable. Look how the size of Brody. And I'm like, man, why would you even say that? But I love this match. And honestly, I don't know where they're going with this story, but I hope they're not done. It feels like they're not done.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing, and AEW is not perfect, as you know. There's some issues with that company, right? But long-term storytelling, more often than not, tends to work pretty darn well, depending on who we're talking about. I feel like there's seeds being sown here for Brody and Darby, and I think this is a few you can go back to 20 times this year if you want to, and I think it'll be just as impactful. It'll mean just as much. Number one, because it looks amazing when Darby gets thrown head over heels, because it's amazing to watch him get pummeled. But more than that is just the story being told of, it's David and Goliath. It's that old story of, there's no way this little dude can XYZ. And I thought a couple of times he was going to squeak it out, but when he lost, I thought he should lose. That's how this match should end. This match should end any other way than this right here. I mean, you wouldn't expect Orange Cassidy to pin Kurt Angle in his prime. No chance. Now, would Kurt have done it? I'm sure Kurt probably would have done it. Would it make sense? No, it wouldn't. And I love Orange, by the way. Orange can work. That's no disrespect to Orange, but they're on two different levels. Brody and Darby's on two different levels. Now, Brody would argue and say, no chance, we're on the same level. But I'm talking about physically, not skill set, right? But, man, you got to go with what works. Darby losing this match works, in my opinion. They can go back to this anytime they want to, and I hope they're not done. I think there's more story to be told.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. I was almost a little surprised, but it was the right call because Brody King just ragdolled Darby all over that place. Like, I didn't see half the match because it was on the other side of the ring on the floor most of the time. So I didn't really get to see a whole lot of that part. But he ragdolled him the entire thing. And then, Sting, sorry, my ears are small, so they don't like earbuds. It's going to drive me nuts all night. Yeah, and Sting coming out and having that little face-to-face thing with Malachi Black in the middle of the ring. It was right in front of my face. It was so cool. It was so cool. So I don't know if it looked that cool on TV, but it sure did in person.
Sting and Malachi make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The fact that Sting's still working and will do anything crazy. I can't say no good things. I've always loved Sting, right? But
Yeah.
he and Malachi make a lot of sense, and I'm sure it was electric when they faced off. It had to have been because it was from home for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. And
I
then
mean,
a whole other part of the story was Miro coming out and facing them from the ramp, just kind of looking, because he had that interesting promo on Rampage last week where he's talking about asking if what did he say? He said, "Did you send the House of Black to destroy me or to join me?" So is he going to join the House of Black or is he going to fight them? It's like a neat little what's going to happen there type situation. So I think they're doing Miro pretty well as well. I thought that was a cool part, and that place went crazy when he came out. So
I don't think he fits with them, and I hope that they don't get sidetracked. If they do anything, I hope it's Brody and Miro and leave Malachi and Sting to face each other. That would be
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Oof.
I mean, I don't think Sting could have like a 30-minute match or anything, but at least give him 10. He could do 10, 15 minutes of good stuff. Of course, I say that, and he jumps off of buildings into tables nowadays in the 60s. So
Yeah.
don't listen to me, I guess. All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
Let's put it this way: no matter which
Okay.
direction they go, it's going to work. I think either way they go.
Okay. Shane says Darby's match was brutal. It looked like Kevin Nash darting Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Timothy's saying Chris Jericho suffered a broken nose last night. I'm surprised it wasn't more than that because he got stuck in that barbed wire, and it took a little bit for them to get him out. They had to cut him out of the barbed wire last night. I don't know if that was on TV or not.
There was some.
rough.
No, it wasn't. There was some legit barbed wire, and there was some not legit barbed wire in that match, and you can always tell what's what. Because the difference is barbed wire that's not legit will just have metal, but it's not sharp barbs. It's just props. Because I've seen that stuff up close, and it's not exactly the thing. But I'm sure there was some real stuff. I think the chair wrapped in it was legit. You could tell because Eddie was being very careful with the chair as to not murder Jericho. So, you know, you could tell.
Well, I'm about to blow everybody's mind because I'm going to be a little bit critical of Eddie at the end of this match. Real quick, he didn't sell anything. He didn't sell the end. He just got up and walked out. He didn't hold his back. He didn't hold his arm where he got cut up. Nothing.
Wow.
He just got up and walked out. So I don't know if his temper got away with him or what, but I was like, okay, Eddie, just walk away from that.
Interesting. And but to be fair to your point, what you said earlier, if Punk were to hit him with the line of, hey, that match was right down your alley, you could always argue, well, Foley got up off the stretcher after being thrown off top of Hell in a Cell. He should never be able to do that. Yeah. Now I'm with you. I don't enjoy seeing guys not selling after the match is over. I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah.
But if you're going to give him anything, I guess you could say, well, technically this is his match and he's been fighting for 20, 30 years and this is what he does. I don't know.
Nah, it still hurts.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right, what we got here? Yeah, Ray's saying Eddie definitely didn't sell. Toby says, I hope Tony Khan is finally going to give the House of Black a push.
I would argue they've been getting a push. They're on
Yeah,
TV all the
they've
time.
been winning their matches too. They haven't
Yeah.
really lost all that much. Timothy, I had a great time last night. This is the time being that close up, so it was pretty mind-blowing because we're usually kind of in the back a little bit. So, all right, what's next? Oh, Best Friends versus John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta. Moxley entrance, that was interesting. He didn't come, I don't know if y'all noticed, but he didn't come out on the same side as he normally does. That entire side on that side was completely empty. It was not a full house. It was a very small crowd. They had to pull people and plug up holes on the camera side. So Moxley came out on the other side than he normally does, and he came out and he was like our row was right here, and he came up the stairs right here. So I was like ducking down because I'm short, right? So I have to duck down, and I'm like with my camera trying to get video like this.
That's funny.
So it was cool that he came out that way.
And no Punk, no Danielson.
Exactly.
Who else is hurt in that company?
Adam
Cole. Cody's gone.
Yeah.
They were in Atlanta and Cody's gone. I mean, that's a thing. So, and not for nothing, but a lot of people are still not working. And the price of a wrestling ticket is something you don't have to go pay. So am I going to buy groceries or am I going to go to this wrestling show? I might just buy groceries this week. So I get it. And there's plenty of shows that aren't completely maxed out and sold out to the max. So I get it.
Yes, Ray, I did see your video of you asking that question to Adam Cole, and that was awesome.
He's going to coast on that for the rest of his years. He'll be in his golden years talking about that.
I know, right? Well, I don't blame him. I'll be talking about my encounter with Eddie Kingston forever, too. So this match was fun. It wasn't necessary, but that's okay. You want to feature your world champion, especially when he's the biggest star you have that's healthy right now. You want to make sure he's on the card somehow. So I was okay with this. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Beretta's so good, and he's such a solid talent. And as they were coming down the ramp, it occurred to me, this guy, not for nothing, is a solid one half of two very good tag teams, current tag teams, not used to be, and now he's moved on. I mean, how many guys can say that? It's kind of like, you play football, but you also play baseball professionally. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm not a huge Chuck Taylor guy, but it's nothing against him. I just haven't been a major fan, but him and Beretta work very well together. When they're tagging together is when Chuck looks the best, in my opinion. But you're right. If you've got a chance to put the champ on the show, you put the champ on the show. And Wheeler Yuta, we've seen this guy grow. If you followed him in Ring of Honor, you know where the guy came from, and how he looked when he first got there versus how he looks now. And not for nothing, but being under William Regal and listening to that guy in your ear every week, that's eventually going to start making an impact. Wheeler Yuta is killing it right now. And this was a fun tag team match. And Wheeler's not been pinned since he joined the Blackpool Combat Club. No. I don't think. So
no, I don't think so.
He kicked out of 2 pile drivers.
Yeah.
There's veterans that have been dead in their graves for 20 years who just rolled over last night and said, kicked out of 2 pile drivers, because it's what? I mean, the pile driver was the finishing move in the business for how many years? Ask Jerry the King Lawler. He'll tell you. But he kicked out of 2 of them. Unheard of. But you talk about looking strong. This Wheeler Yuta kid, he's got something. So crazy.
And a lot of people will say, well, he doesn't say much and he doesn't portray a whole lot of personality or whatever, but he's starting to. He's starting to show more facial expressions while he's wrestling, and you can tell what he's feeling. So I think that talks loads more than just saying something. Daniel Garcia needs to work on telling something with his face or his mouth or something, but other than that,
Excellent comparison. That is on point because Garcia is miles behind Wheeler Yuta, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
look, kids, Wheeler's got the first part nailed. He can work. He can flat out work. Oh, my God, can he work? And he's got legit credibility and toughness from top guys in that company. Wheeler's in
Yeah.
good shape. Oh,
Yeah.
Wheeler doesn't do this when he talks. Who cares? Let him go. Leave him alone. I mean,
Yeah.
Danielson was never the most charismatic guy around. Look how what kind of regard Danielson's held. I mean, Wheeler will be, I'm telling you right now, you fast forward 10 years from now, don't nobody forget this. 10 years from now, we'll be talking about Wheeler Yuta the same way we talk about Bryan Danielson. And that's my bold prediction. Maybe not even 10 years to where guys coming up starting now and 5 years from now be talking about, I got in the business because of Wheeler Yuta because, oh my God, that guy's awesome. I think that's where we're headed with this guy, honestly.
Yeah. Toby's saying the fact that they're still doing this well, I think he means without Omega. I forgot about Omega. Yeah, him too. Punk, Cole, Jungle Boy, etc. says a lot about AEW. Of course, Jungle Boy did get to come back last night. That was cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
We'll get there. Alma is schooling us. She says Bobby Sweeten, Eric Embry, both masters of the pile driver.
I haven't heard Eric Embry. Actually, I mentioned Eric Embry in a pod. It's been a while. I remember Embry. Yeah.
Shane, I'm not sure if I like this or not. You're about to get the boo list. I'd like to see Jungle Boy join Jericho's group. No, please don't. Sammy with Conti. I'm tired of those two. Jungle Boy with Anna Jay. Please don't do the couple thing. Please don't do it. And Jericho and Hager, they would be great.
I don't think they need him.
I don't think they need him either. I don't think he needs them either.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
I think he's just fine by himself. Or with Luchasaurus or something like that. Okay, we have a WWE segment up next. Swerve in Our Glory comes out to celebrate their winning the tag titles last week. And some rapper that I don't know because I don't listen to rap was out in the crowd and came out and shoved a cake in Mark's face.
Such shade. Such shade being thrown. Did you hear that, everybody? Some rapper, because I don't listen to that. Man. Wow.
Not today.
Swerve and Keith are over there, man.
Yeah.
Swerve is.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope that this doesn't become a turn by either one of them. I love original storylines, and we don't get them too much, folks. I love original storylines. So I would love to see a moment when they actually acknowledge the fact that they're having problems in the ring, but that they're working on it. They're working out the other 5 days of the week, 6 days a week, whatever that is. We're in the ring. We're working on timing. We're going to get there. And then they could even acknowledge great tag teams. Look, FTR wasn't this good their first time in the ring, and we're already champions, but we've been together that amount of time. Look how long the Road Warriors were together. Look how long Ricky and Robert have been together. Yeah. We need time to get adjusted to each other. I love to see that story being told instead of he turned on him. Oh, the turn stuff is so overplayed in my opinion. So
especially with what they tried to do it with, like Swerve eliminating Keith out of the Battle Royal. It's like, but it's every man for himself. Of course he wants to be world champion. He's not going to hop over the top rope and go, here you go, Keith. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Here, Keith, dang, I don't have a family or nothing. Just take it.
I mean, I remember when I was about 12 or 13, I'm watching a Royal Rumble one time, and Matt entered the Royal Rumble right after Jeff, and they were the only two in there, and they did the fist pump, and then they were fighting because they understood that it was every man for himself. It was just so silly. I hate it when they use that.
Yeah. I mean, it's to your point, it's supposed to be I'm here to win. I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to win.
Right. We'll be friends after it's over, but
Yeah.
for now, we're both trying to be world champions. So sorry.
Yeah.
Silly. Anyway, next we had Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. Luchasaurus did all the work, and in his heel glory, Christian Cage tags himself in to get the pin, and he doesn't do anything. And I was laughing. I thought that was hilarious. And then
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to finish with the rest of the segment. Jungle Boy makes his triumphant return. It looks like Luchasaurus maybe worked Christian Cage here. I don't know. He just kind of stepped out of the way. He didn't really do anything else. Like he didn't get physical with either one of them. So
I was telling Phil, as I was saying earlier, we talked a lot about this show before we recorded the 6M. And this is how much of a nerd I am. And you guys can tell me I'm working. It's fine. But when I watched this show back, and first of all, I thought, well, there's Jungle Boy's music. He better have a chair. There's two guys. It's the golden, one of the golden rules of pro wrestling. If there's more than one heel in the ring and you're a babyface looking to clean house, you better have a chair, because it looks ridiculous if you don't. You're one guy. There's more than one. You're going to be outnumbered. They're going to take you out. So of course there's two guys, and one of them's 9 foot tall and bulletproof or whatever, and he's a monster from the Jurassic era. So Jungle Boy better have a chair. Well, he did. Check that off the list. They get down to the ramp and they face off. And for a very brief second in my mind, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if Lucha just sidestepped? Wouldn't that be cool? And I thought, well, let's see. And then it happened. And when it happened, I thought, I am such a nerd. I've been watching this stuff for too freaking long. Like, I ruin it for, they don't ruin it for me anymore. They can do anything. But I ruin it for myself. Not because I'm so smart. Nothing like that. I just want to be able sometimes to just watch and don't overthink it. But I overthink everything, and I'm like, wouldn't that be cool? And then, I did it. That's fun. Then it was still good. Yeah. But do you think that this is okay that he did this? He's still heel the way he acts. Could they come back next week and maybe have a spot backstage where they have a one-on-one and Luchasaurus, which he doesn't talk hardly ever.
Yeah.
Just look at him at Jungle Boy and say, you'll always be my brother, but I got to do my own thing now. And maybe they bump fists. I was just about to
say something like that. I think I would have preferred him to stay with Christian for a little bit longer, just to keep that festering, because it lasted 2 weeks and that's it. So I would have liked to seen it a little bit longer for him to be that monster heel that just comes in and destroys people and goes home. I thought that would have been great. But I kind of want him to be like, if they're doing this, I want him to go, I'm tired of being the second fiddle. I'm tired of being the second fiddle to you. I'm tired of being the second fiddle to Christian. I want to be my own person. I'm going after whatever, on my own. It's my turn. So I'd be okay with that too.
And leave him heel, because you don't need two incredibly strong, undefeatable big men that are babyface. You've already got Wardlow. You don't need another guy competing for that kind of spotlight. So Lucha can stay heel, but just make it clear, you stay off my radar and I'll stay off yours. And they end with a fist bump or even a hug and say, that's it. And so in that regard, you'll always respect Luchasaurus, but when he goes to pick on a babyface, you'll boo him because you're supposed to. But there'll always be sort of this unspoken thing that you go your way, I'll go mine. Then one day when we need to come back together, we can. And it'll be awesome, and it'll sell tickets, and it'll be great. But until then, let's go our separate ways. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, comments. Shane says, did you hear that Tony Khan signed Briscoes to a multi-year contract for Ring of Honor? Got to make that distinction. I heard he signed them, to Ring of Honor, but I hope they show up at AEW. They're not allowed to show up to AEW right now. Hopefully, maybe they can work that out at some point. But yes, they are signed to Ring of Honor, and that's exciting. Thank you so much. It's your fault.
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm just sitting here with my coffee. What did I do?
You said, Tina, you need to go and watch the Briscoes. Them boys are awesome.
boys.
And so I said, okay. And I did. And I've been following their Twitter, Facebook promo sessions that they have.
Oh,
They are so captivating. I love them.
them boys from Sandy Fort, Delaware.
Yes.
And Jay's always like this.
Yeah.
All the time. Oh my God. Charisma. You can't create this, and I'm gonna rant. You can't create this, and you can't write this. And the best team of writers out of the company's ever had couldn't create Jay Briscoe.
No.
He gets it. He absolutely gets it. He is a man that's gonna make him sound like I'm talking about him like he's Tanahashi. He's a one of a kind guy, in as much as you don't need to tell Jay anything. He totally gets it. He knows who he is. He knows what he can do, and he can do it very well. I mean, if Jay is so inclined when his days are over, that's the guy you put in promo class. That's the guy you put with a room full of students at the performance center if he wanted to do it, and they're stupid to not ask him to do it, to say, promo class 101, Mr. Briscoe, take the stage. The floor is yours. And then let that guy tell these kids, you want to get them? Here's how you get them. Because he knows how to get them. I mean, he is so good. And then he and Mark in the ring are smooth as silk. Aren't they?
Yeah.
They're smooth as silk, those guys. So good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I take the blame. I proudly take the blame because they are that good.
For like a half a second there, I thought maybe they had worked something to where they could show up last night, and I was about to lose it. But then when Dax started talking about his daughter, I was like, yeah, no one's going to interrupt that. So
I'm not saying two wrongs make a right. Two rights don't make a left. Listen to me. I'm not excusing anybody. Don't nobody be putting that stuff at my door. But you're going to hold that against Jay Briscoe when Darby works there? Hey, look, Darby's done some stuff. You put Ospreay on your TV show, Ospreay's maybe done some stuff. And Briscoe said things, and what?
Sammy Guevara did too, though.
Sammy Guevara said things, and he's on your TV. But Jay Briscoe is the one that's the deal breaker, even though the guy has come out repeatedly when he didn't have to. Even when he didn't have to, the guy's come out publicly apologized and said,
I think it is? They're using that as an excuse because the Briscoes aren't physically appealing.
I don't think Khan's using that, because how many guys on that roster? Go back to Chucky T. This guy don't have a body. I mean, I don't know if that's it. I think there's bigger things at work here that people are telling.
Facially is what I was saying.
Yeah, I don't,
because Eddie's got a nice face. So
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't honestly, personally think that's it. I think it's people. Maybe the comments have been said. You know, Tony, you've already got Darby here, and you already got Sammy here, and you know what I mean? You let that Ospreay kid on TV. We don't want Jay Briscoe here too. Maybe that's been said. But, I mean, imagine, Tina, if what you said 10 years ago prevented you from getting a job today or prevented you from making friends today. If, my God, he didn't, run a school bus full of kids off a cliff. Let's relax. I'm not saying he's a saint. He's not. Oh, don't get me started. The things that we forgive in this business, we forgive all kinds of things, but we can't forgive a guy for saying something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
For saying something, get me for as many times I said something dumb, I'm locked up for the rest of my life because I said a bunch of dumb stuff. You kidding me? Come on.
Well, Toby, I hope Tom just answered your question. So. Shane, dude, no, man, no.
He's pushing your buttons now.
No.
Girl.
I like that one. That's a fun one.
Shane says, could you imagine Luchasaurus and Lance Archer as a tag team? That's the whole point. Get them out of a tag team.
I like to see Lance being given something more than what he does.
Yes. Yes, I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Tell me why. Let's go to the next one if you want, if that's cool with you. That we had a very weird dynamic with this kid that faced Ricky Starks in the ring. It was very odd. It kind of felt like he was supposed to. They gave him a back. Look, this kid got a backstage spot. He got on the air in the middle of the show on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had done some legwork to know who this kid is. It's my fault. I don't know who this kid is.
He got a speaking part, a speaking segment, and a match. So that was, I didn't even think about that. But before we talk about that real quick, there was a backstage segment with the Gun Club challenging the Acclaim to a rap battle on Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say anything other than that it is must see. So make sure you watch Rampage to see that rap battle.
I can't wait.
It was great. I'm not going to say anything else.
I can't wait. And I think I like Daddy Gunn better as the father that is into his sons. Like his facials that Billy made was like, yeah, like that. I'm a proud papa. I know my son can rap. And I'm sure it probably came off like that when it actually happened. But Billy is so fun no matter what you have him do. Yeah. And he can sell anything. His kids are talented. And yes. I get them confused, but the one that's actually going to do the rap, in my opinion, is a little bit better in the ring than his brother. But man, I think this is a team. Yeah, we may be talking about this team 5-10 years from now. Honestly, I think they're going to end up being very good together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good once they work out those little clinks and clunks that they have going on. And I love Billy Gunn to death. I got a chance to meet him a couple years ago. And I walk up to him and I said, hi. And he says, hi. And he goes, what's your name? I tell him. And then he looks at me like this and he goes, that was my ex-wife's name. And I look at him and I'm like, Billy, I just want a picture. I don't want your house. And he started laughing. And Jake Hager was in the booth right next to him, and he started laughing. So the picture of us, we're like, got these really big smiles on our faces, is because we were laughing probably for about a minute or so.
That's awesome.
So.
That's fun stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people have said he's not nice to meet, but I had a good time meeting him. So I don't know. Maybe it was the day. Okay, let me see. What do we got? E is saying Tina for president and Tom for vice president. Man, they're putting me above you.
Yeah, I'd rather have the side saddle anyway. I don't want the main job.
I don't either. I've got enough gray hair. Thank you. Toby says, do you have a DMD button?
I did.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm going to tell you you're stealing my stuff. If you got a DMD button, you're flat out. Yes. Oh, my God.
No, I'm not.
You button thief? Man.
Okay, well, you... You can have any of the other ones I have except for the Fight Me button, because that's just Peaches and Powerbomb. Sorry.
You can have the Fight Me button. Jeez.
Yeah, the Fight Me button is like the hot garbage button to Tom Clark's main event.
I'll take that.
Toby was very excited to see it, though. So at least somebody's happy. All right,
we're here for your entertainment. That's all we're here for. Your entertainment.
Yep. Oh, we were talking about Ricky Starks versus... I hope we're getting this right, because me and Tom weren't sure on his first name.
I think it's Caleb Colton. I think Caleb Carter.
Caleb Carter. I think it's something Carter.
Roseanne Carter Cash, June Carter Cash. I don't know, something like that.
Somebody.
Yeah.
But everybody but was about Ricky Starks last night. They were like, dude, no.
Yeah, and I mean, Ricky's going to turn face. It's going to be fun when he does, and Ricky could be a top baby face in that company real easy. Yeah. And Danhausen came out in full gear. What I love, there are some moments in some companies when you know exactly what's going to happen. And you can tell either by the fact that someone's not wearing gear or they're wearing the wrong gear. I mean, Danhausen came out fully painted up, ready for a match, in full gear, and didn't get to work a match. And you're like, what? But you didn't know that because it looked like there might be a match. And I like when stuff is not what you expect. I like when it's not, they go the other direction with it. Cole Carter. We were close.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I said I was ready. It doesn't mean I was ready now. I'm not talking about now. Oh, that was good. And then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he told us you can wait. You can watch it at home next week.
Danhausen's over. Don't anybody underestimate the length to which Danhausen's over. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the spot when he offered Hook chips and Hook pushed him down.
Yeah.
Or threw the chips down. Go back and listen to how they booed Hook. And that will tell you how over Danhausen is. Hook could do anything. He put his hands on Danhausen and got booed for it. That tells you how over he is. Crazy.
Yeah, so. I popped for Danhausen last night. He's so funny though. His YouTube channel is hilarious. He'll sit there and like do like video game stuff in character. He's sitting and he's not good at it either. He's hard. So
complete
he's like, oh no, I died.
He's complete
how can you do that?
And you know what I found? I know because I'm referencing. I'm watching it now. When Starks went back up the steps, he was slapping hands with fans, and I thought they didn't mean to catch that. That was a faux pas in production. They cut to that. They were supposed to have cut away. I'm guessing the timing was off, but I hope this is used later. And hopefully Taz could use it to say, think I didn't see last week when you're slapping hands? What do you care about what the fans think? Because they could use this at some point. Because he didn't have to do that. Can. You know?
Because they need to use this Danhausen thing to bring Hook into the equation to make Taz choose which one, Ricky Starks or your son. So it's just a way for them to send Hook into the situation. So.
Making his way to the ring from St. Mark's Place, weighing 201 pounds, he is Hook.
We had
got a Hook butt. That's his whole entrance right there. Man, you people have gone button happy on this show. What's going on here? I created a monster.
Yes, you did. I've got I've got about 2 or 3 in the shop right now I'm working on. So
man, you were young, impressionable Tina Miller who was just a fan of wrestling, and then suddenly some old hairy dude came along, got you writing about it, then got you podcasting about it, and now you're making buttons about it. What have I done? I've corrupted you.
You actually took a little chisel and just went poke.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, time for me to join the world.
Yeah. Join the sad caravan of pro wrestling nerds. There's a whole bunch of us out here, but man, do we have fun. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes, it's about being yourself without apologizing and being like, this is who I am, this is what I like, and I'm going to share my love for whatever it is, and if you don't like it, don't watch.
Going to a wrestling show is the same thing as going to a comic book convention. It's the same thing as going to any large gathering of people who share the same feelings you do. You feel like it's your tribe. You feel like these are my people. Like I feel safe when I'm in
Yeah.
certain environments. Like I was at a comic convention a couple weeks ago, and we had armed, like there was cops walking around, and I'm like, I wanted just so bad to stop and say, this is a day off for you. No one here cares anything about getting in trouble. We're just here to buy stuff. We're here to buy
Right.
books, pop vinyls, movies, whatever we can get our hands on. We're all nerds. We're all geeks. Like that's my home. Pro wrestling fans are my home. Not all of them, because some of them are crazy. But for the most part, it's like the Star Wars fans. I'm a Star Wars fan too. That clique of people has got its troublemakers and its ne'er-do-wells. How often do they well? Ne'er is how often that they well. All right. And they're just troublemakers, just bad people. But for the most part, Star Wars fans are a good tribe. So that's how I feel about the pro wrestling crowd also. There's some bad eggs, but for the most part, we have fun.
Yeah, we have a whole lot of fun. Toby says Danhausen can wrestle too. He beat Jake something on Dark. That's cool.
Danhausen can work. Is Danhausen a great technical mastermind? I would say no, in my opinion. But he don't need to be.
No, he's just fun to watch, and that's all that matters.
Danhausen has one of the most original gimmicks that this business has seen in 10, 15 years. And I stick to that. And if anyone doubts me, show me one person that compares. Go. You're done. There's no one. There's nobody. Nobody compares. I'm telling you right now. Nobody compares to Danhausen. You can't even get close. You can't even get close. I mean, you can look at Darby and say, Jeff Hardy Sting. You can look at Eddie, no disrespect, and Eddie wouldn't take disrespect to this. You could look at Eddie and say Mick Foley.
Yeah.
You could look at Bryan Danielson and say maybe Kurt Angle. You could look at X, Y, and Z. Give me one person for Danhausen. I don't have any.
Wow. I never thought about that. Oh my gosh. You said Eddie McFoley. McFoley was my favorite wrestler from 12 on.
Ah.
So that makes a lot of
sense.
sense. That makes a lot of sense. Toby says you created a superstar. Thank you.
Ah.
About that, but thanks.
Toby going for the points.
Okay. Shane says, I am surprised Tina doesn't have more Eddie Kingston buttons. I have 3 actually. So.
What are you talking about?
Right. Maybe he wasn't here earlier in the show to see the other 2. So. Okay, man, we gotta get going.
How loud was the promo reception for FTR when they came out?
Huge. And when he said on Saturday, I'm going to fight like a 8-year-old girl. Oh my gosh.
Awesome. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. I think I think they have one. I think he showed it. You can't read the sign in this picture, but this green sign right there, that's me.
Oh, I see you. I see your sign. I've got you right now. Cool. What's your sign say?
It's okay to not be okay. Thank you, Uncle Dax.
Oh, you're one of those annoying
7-star
sign
FTR.
people, aren't you? Oh, man. The annoying sign people.
No, it was a thank you.
No. The sign's good. I'm talking about, I've been to so many shows over the years where a dude's like this and during commercial break.
No.
And he just won't sit down. And there's like 40 people in the rows behind him going, sit down. Like we're yelling at this clown. And we're all going, we're at commercial. Look, we're at, and he's just, and I'm thinking, what are you doing?
I held it up and then put it down. And then like when they left, I held it up for about 5 more seconds and then put it back down.
That's proper sign etiquette. It is.
I'm 5 foot even, so I understand.
Are you?
Okay. Yes.
Wow.
Going to a concert is horrible.
My kid is on the short.
I refuse to get floor seats because of that reason, because I wouldn't be able to see anything.
I've been taking my kid to shows since he was little, and he would either have to sit in my lap, or when we're all standing up, I'd let him stand in his chair so he could see. And then so many times over the years, I've had to switch seats with him because a tall dude sat in front of him. Happens all the time.
Toby.
Fight me! Fight me! Fight me. Fight me. Fight me. Don't fight me.
I'm not even going to put that comment up there.
Oh, it must have been good.
Mm-mm.
Next time you go to
Okay,
AEW show, you need to paint up like Danhausen. Next time you go to an AEW show, that'd be fun. I bet you get on camera.
I bet my sensitive skin wouldn't like that all that much.
And you just got to stand like that the whole time, just looking around.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll talk about the girls' match in the same spot right before the main event. Do they not care about their placement of women's matches, or is it always going to be right before the main event at
Yes.
9:30?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Jade, hometown girl, and Kiera Hogan versus Athena and Willow. It was okay. Jade looked strong, so that's good.
Am I crazy, or have they changed the way the TBS belt looks, or has it always looked like that?
I think it's always looked like that. It didn't look any different to me.
I guess I'm getting the reflection of the blue off the LED ramp. It looks like it's turning blue. Okay, that must be what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm just seeing things. They had Jermaine Dupri with them, which is pretty cool. Legend. They had quite a few names there last night, not affiliated with pro wrestling, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Phil and I disagree on the issue of Jade. He says, "Well, Jade's a star." I'm like, agreed. She's still not there in the ring. I'm sorry.
No.
I call it like I see it. Is she a star? You better believe it. But it's such a not complex. It's not complex, but it's a complicated topic because, like, what is a pro wrestling company, especially a young company like AEW, supposed to do besides create new stars? People, oh, well, just XW stars. Shut up. Everyone shut up with that. No, don't bring that stuff to my door. These guys need somewhere to work. AEW is making money. Let them go to AEW and work. I don't have a problem with that. But at the same time, this company has to create new stars. I don't have a problem with Jade being a new star. Perfectly fine. But there's some issues in the ring still. Let's be fair. Let's call it fair.
I will have to say, was it a Blue Thunder Bomb or something like that she did? That looked good. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. So, she's not perfect.
No.
And I think there was a little bit of a timing issue in one spot too that I remember seeing, but other than that, she looked all right last night.
Not everybody's Okada. Man, what you got going on over there? Jeez.
My parents live on a main highway, so
I could tell. I'm at the end of a cul-de-sac.
Well, that was the card.
That is the
Good
card.
thing too. It's been over an hour.
Kind of felt like we covered a pay-per-view. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know. It's because we don't normally do the whole TV show, but just because I was there and everything and got to see it up close, I just wanted to talk about it in depth and see what everybody at home thought, if they had just as much fun as I did.
It was a fun show. I got a lot from it. What's your expectations for Saturday's Ring of Honor show? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, besides the FTR and Briscoe's match, it's just kind of feels just there. But I mean, Ring of Honor doesn't have its own show, so that's to be expected.
I suspect
they get their own.
Yeah, I suspect there's a reason why Joe has not been on TV this whole time, and I'm not sure what it is. I feel like I should know, but I don't know.
We thought he was going to come out at Rampage last night, and he didn't.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
Freaking Tina!
Say what happened I won't say what happened other than he didn't show up. He wasn't there.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason why he's off TV, and he has been off TV for a month or so. Got to be a reason. I would imagine. Didn't he get hurt? Am I crazy? Am I dreaming that?
I don't remember hearing he got hurt.
I could be wrong, but it seemed like maybe there was something. Maybe they're just keeping him healthy and keeping him on the sideline. But he and Jay are going to have a really good match Saturday. Jay Lethal is still...
Yeah.
Not for nothing. Jay Lethal's on their TV. I'm just saying. I'm going back to Jay Briscoe. You got Jay Lethal on your TV? But not... Okay. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Claudio wrestle too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Got
be a
a
lot of
world title shot with Gresham.
fun. Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
And I kind of
he's.
see him winning it too.
I love that for years, pro wrestling writers, guys like me, bragged on who was once called Cesaro and said, he's got this, but he doesn't have charisma. And now he gets to AEW, and he's like one of the brightest spots on the card, and he's full of life, and he's so freaking happy. And he's supposed to be like this, like Mox, like, and like Wheeler Yuta going, ah. And he's like, hey, I'm here. And his music's upbeat, and it's happy, and makes you want to dance. And I'm like, I love that that's him now, when before we all talked about he's just, if he only has some charisma. Now look at him. It's amazing what some time off and a fresh coat of paint will do for a guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's looks like he's having a blast now. I love that for him.
Listen on Friday night to his promo.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a good. It was a good Rampage. It looks bad just because we were exhausted from the barbed wire match. And I feel so bad. I tried my best. I was like, I am tired. I'm old. It's 11:30. It's because it took them a while to start Rampage because they had to clean all that up. It took them 30 minutes to clean it up. So,
I'm sure. I was going to ask you that.
We didn't get out until 12:30. So
Don't get me started. Last year at All Out in Chicago, we were in the parking lot for 2 hours.
yeah.
2 hours in the parking lot because we were trying to get an Uber, and you couldn't get an Uber. And there was about 100 of us outside, and we couldn't get an Uber back to the hotel. It was that bad, and it was legit 2 hour wait. It was insane. And our phones are dying, and there's nowhere to charge. And I'm like, this is how I'm going to die. Well, I've had a good run, but I'm going to die out here tonight. I'm going to get knifed or something by some crazy homeless person. That's going to be the end of Tom. And whew.
Yeah, I will never go to Chicago.
Oh no, it was a great city. I don't mean it that way. It was a great city. Had the best time. And everybody was on their best behavior. Everybody just wanted to get home or get to the hotels or whatever. But lesson learned next time. If you're going to be at a venue out of state that you had to fly to get to, if you know that arena is out of city limits or something and not close to Uber, you better be renting a car to get there. Or be sure you have a ride back already established, because not you can be waiting a while. Lesson learned. So
where is it? Did I not bring it? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I think that about does it for tonight. My voice is about gone. Tom, thank you so much again for joining me. Like always, go check out Tom Clark's Main Event, the 6M podcast, all that jazz. He does good work over there. And like, share, subscribe on Peaches and Power Bombs. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night.